Good day, students. Math second quarter week 1. Expressing one value as the fraction of another using ratio. Derived from second quarter SLM provided by DepEd Central, Regional, and Division Offices. By Sir Jerome. Example 1. Compare the number of circles to triangles. When you compare two quantities, we call it as ratio. In the example, the ratio is 12:6 that can be written in word, colon, and fraction form. Ratio of triangles to circles is 6:12. That can also be written on word, colon, and fraction form. If you compare the part to the total number of the shapes, the ratio of the part to the total has the same meaning as a fraction. This is expressing one value as the fraction of another. It can also be written in different forms. The total number of the shapes is 18, which came from 12 plus 6, so the total shapes to triangles is 18:6. Triangles to total shapes is 6:18. Even if the ratio can be written in fraction, you will still say 18:6. 6:18. Do not pronounce it as 18/6 or 6/18. Ratio should also be in simplest form or lowest form like a fraction. In 18:6, the greatest number that can divide the 18 and 6 exactly is 6. 18:6 divided by 6 is 3:1. Therefore the lowest term of 18:6 is 3:1. If the ratio is already in simplest form, no need to simplify. Example 3. The two quantities have different units. One is a centavo and the other one is peso. Since the lowest unit is a centavo, you need to change the peso to centavo. After converting, you may now write the ratio with centavo unit. It is 3:12. Put it to lowest term, it's 1:4. You will also do the same if you compare weeks to days, minutes to hours, years to months, and other scenario that needs conversion to similar units. Example 4. Making equivalent ratio. It is very simple. You just have to multiply the ratio by the same number. 2:4 multiplied by 2 is 4:8, multiplied by 3 is 6:12, multiplied by 4 is 8:16, multiplied by 5 is 10:20. The equivalent fraction 2:4 are 4:8, 6:12, 8:16 and 10:20. Example 5. There are instances that the term of ratio do not have the same units or classifications. This is a special ratio called rate. For example, kilometers to an hour, and points per game. Rom scored 180 points in 5 basketball games. Find the average rate per game. To solve the problem, just divide 180 to 5. The answer that you will get is 36. Therefore he has 36 points in one game. So the rate is 36 points per game. You can also use this in finding the speed of a car, bike, or your walking manner. Now it's time to answer the learning task. Look at your weekly home learning plan or WHLP and math activity sheet for week 1. Answer the learning task in separate paper, then check using answer key provided at the back of the module. Write the score on the activity sheet. Then answer additional activity that is written there. It is also required to answer the personal assessment on your level of performance. This will be included in your total points. Learning task 1. Count the first set of figures, then compare it with the second set to form ratio. Write it in fraction, colon, and word form. Learning task 2. Write the ratio of the following in 3 ways. Be careful this time in writing the ratio. Put the ratio in lowest term if needed. Convert the classification or units to lower units or classifications first, then simplify to its lowest term. Remember, ratio can be written in fraction form, colon form, and word form. Learning task 3. Write 3 equivalent fraction of the given ratio. Just multiply the ratio by the same number. You may use times 2, times 3, times 4, and others. Learning task 4. The ratio is already written in fraction form. You will just write it in word and colon form. Remember this. Please repeat after me. Ratio is a comparison of two quantities which can be written in colon, word, or fraction form. Rate is a comparison of two quantities but may have different units of measures and their ratio has a unit of measure. Again. Ratio is a comparison of two quantities which can be written in colon, word, or fraction form. Rate is a comparison of two quantities but may have different units of measures and their ratio has a unit of measure. Goodbye and thank you. Looking forward on your math learnings. See you on the retrieval schedule.